Hey guys, hope everybody's having a great day. We're here with Miss Holli Mostella. Yay!
Yay!
And we're so happy to have her with us. Oh my goodness, we already have a bunch of thumbs up and hearts and stuff. People anticipating seeing you today, Holli.
Yay!
Thank you so much for joining us. Holli, tell us where you're from. So I'm in El Paso, guys. People who don't know, El Paso is in Texas. Manda's on. Hey, Manda.
Hey,
It's in Texas.
Amanda.
It's the westernmost tip of Texas. And so right there, right before you get to New Mexico. So we border New Mexico and we also border Mexico. So we're right on the border there. And so that's where I am. People say, when I say Texas, people are thinking San Antonio, Austin, Dallas. Those places are really far from us. So right there on the tip. So from Texas to where, Holli?
I am from Alabama, from Northeast Alabama, right at the Tennessee line.
Okay, awesome. That is so cool. Now, my uncle lives in Tennessee. My uncle and my auntie, they're actually in Memphis. But that is so cool. So is that the only place you've ever lived, Holli?
Yeah, it's the only place I've ever lived. It's definitely not the only place I've ever been. We have traveled all over the United States over the past 2 years, doing lots of cool things, but it's the only place that I've ever lived.
And would you ever move? Would you ever consider moving from Alabama?
Oh yeah, if it wasn't for I'm really close with my family, with my mom and dad, so I can't leave them. Even at 32 years old, I still need my mama, but I would definitely hands down move to Salt Lake City. It's Cricut headquarters, so I've been there
Oh,
often, but the mountains and the weather, and it's just absolutely beautiful out there.
that is so fun. I always said I would never, and people are like, "What do you mean you don't want to move? There's nothing in El Paso." I don't want to leave El Paso. I
Yeah.
love visiting San Antonio. I love traveling. And I think like you, I'm just a family person, and I love my mom passed in January, but I was such a mama's girl and
Yeah.
daddy's girl more than anything else. But I can't. I'm like, no, I can't leave. I'll go travel anywhere, but I need to be here.
Yes,
It's just
I understand that.
yeah. Well, let's get started. I asked Holli if she'd come on. As you all know, my group is fairly new, just trying to get going. I started off as just a crafting place for my sisters. I have a really large family. I have 6 sisters and 5 brothers. So my sisters and I and my mom, we would form like a little crafting group, and we would be here on Saturdays at my house, and we would craft. So I said, you know what? Let's just do a crafting group on Facebook. So that was just for us. And then I said, okay, some of my friends, and then it just, you know how everything goes to Holli, it just snowballs. So now I just want to bring value to everybody. I want to bring the best of the best to you all. And so that's why I'm starting off. And so how appropriate that Holli would be my first guest that I interview, because honestly, I love crafting and I love so many crafters out there. But I have to say Holli is definitely at the top of my list.
Oh, thank you so much. That means the world to me.
And it's true. And I'll tell you why, everybody. Holli gives her heart and puts her heart into everything she does. As you may or may not know, she is the group owner of Cricut Craft Life. And so tell us about how you got started doing that, Holli.
Yeah, so the group was created in December of 2017, and it was created because I couldn't quite find my place in other groups, but I knew that I loved the community that Facebook groups had. So there was not really a safe place that you could go and post your projects or post your questions. And so I wanted to create that safe place for others that they could, no matter what skill level they had or what craft they created with their Cricut, whether it be adhesive vinyl or heat transfer or paper, whatever it may be. I just wanted us all to come together and have that safe place with no judgment, super friendly. And so we created Cricut Craft Life, and it grew super fast. I think we have 230,000 members, and we have an amazing community over there.
That's cool. So Cricut Craft Life is not your only group. Tell us about your other group. You have at least 2 more groups I know of.
Yeah, I know. I have and I'm going to tell you, I couldn't do this without a team of people helping me. So my admins are amazing, but I also have a Tumblr group where you can go and learn everything about how to create Tumblrs start to finish and share the Tumblrs that you have. And then I have a Patreon group, which is, I have to say, my baby, my favorite group. It's just a close, tight-knit group of women that have become family, and it extends beyond crafting. It's also support with each other and our social medias and what we're going through in life, and it's just become so much more than I ever could have expected it to be.
And Amanda wants to let you guys know it's not just women and Bruce. Don't forget Bruce.
And Matt.
And Matt Craft Life. Yeah. So guys, those of you who don't know, Bruce is he owns Backfist custom glitter, and he does glitters and he does molds, and he's just awesome. He has his own group as well, but he has been there for Holli. I've just been in Holli's Patreon group for about almost a year. We were just talking about it before we came on, coming up on a year. But I see everything he does for her group, and it's really amazing. But there's also Matt. Now, Matt is Holli's man. Tell us about Matt, Holli.
Oh, man, I hit the jackpot with Matt. So I was in a difficult relationship for about 10 years before Matt. And then I had kind of lost all expectation of relationship. And then I met Matt. And he is the man behind the scenes. He, right now, while we're going through this hard time, he's keeping the children, he's cooking our meals, he's putting the clothes in the laundry, he's doing it all. He's making sure that the kids brush their teeth. And so I can focus on work and helping the community come together. He has been everything that a perfect partner could be. But of course, it's not all rainbows. I don't want anybody to think that any relationship is perfect by any means. He drives me crazy, and he's a super nerd, but I love him for it. He is truly my better half.
That is so amazing. And it's special. It's really important to have. I have that with my husband as well. And it's nothing like it. We've worked together side by side. He helped me with my center. He was a teacher. He was a bus driver. He was everything with me.
Oh.
And he's out in another job now, but it's important to have that support with you. So tell us about I want to know, you've obviously been a crafter for more than just this, since you started a group. Take us all the way back. How did you start crafting?
Okay, so in my house when we were growing up, there's 5 of us children. So that's a lot, but it doesn't touch how many you have. But I'm the youngest of 5. And so by the time I came around, my mom was like, no more Play-Doh. We're done with all of the messy stuff. And so I had a craft book. I'll always remember this. It was like this thick, and I went through it and made every craft that was in that book. And I remember being so young, probably 6, 7, and I had that book until it just absolutely fell apart. I loved it. Always loved to craft. Any handmade thing, holidays, any gift would be handmade. And so when I was in high school, I got an embroidery machine. And so I started with embroidery. I loved it. I can't sew, but I can embroider. Then I moved on and I got my first Cricut in 2006 when they released. And I was instantly hooked. I loved it. I loved everything in my house had a sticker on it. Everything. And so I moved on with the evolution of Cricut, and I have always loved crafting.
Mm-hmm. So what's your favorite kind of crafting? You talked about embroidery. You talked about Cricut crafting, vinyl. Obviously, if you're sticking stickers everywhere, that's vinyl. Yeah. What's your most favorite?
So that's always such a hard question. I ask that question to other people and they'll have an answer, but I've
Uh-huh.
thought to myself, that is such a hard it's so hard for me to answer because I do so many different mediums. I do some metal stamping and I do tumblers. So out of all of it, out of the whole spectrum of crafting, using the Cricut would be my favorite craft. And I know that's kind of a broad answer, but I love putting inspirational quotes where I need them. So like on my
Mhm.
right under my computer, it says be strong and courageous. I
Mhm.
can't talk this morning, but because when I sit down on the computer, that's where I answer my emails. That's where I edit my videos. That's where
Mhm.
I will go through messages, and so that's where I needed that particular message to be. So I love to put little inspirational quotes where I am and where I work.
That's important. That's part of self-care. That's part of
Yeah.
taking care of your own self and your own emotional health and your own mental health. And I think that's really important. That's an awesome thing to do. I love it. So how do you do that balance? I mean, you're talking about going to your office. You talk to us about crafting, Matt helping you with the kids, and how do you balance? How do you make sure that you have time for your family? And because you do so much for us, sometimes we feel like you belong to us, like Holly's ours, you know? What do you mean she's got a family? Well, how do you make that work?
Yeah, well, and a part of me does belong to you guys, but I balance where I feel like I'm needed. I try to be very intuitive to my family.
Mhm.
And so if I feel like the kids need me that day, then I'll put everything aside and I make sure to meet their needs. Whether it just be attention or a long snuggle or a book read to them or they want to color. I hate to admit it, but I hate Play-Doh too now because like Matt can make these he'll send me pictures of him and the kids making these amazing Play-Doh creations. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't even make a unicorn horn from this Play-Doh. But and then when I feel like their needs are met, including Matt's, I will then go out to work or connect with you guys. And sometimes when I connect with you, it's for me too. Sometimes it's not, I just feel like you need to check in and hear from me. Sometimes it's, I need to hear from my tribe. And because you guys do so much to build me up too.
Oh, and we're happy. We're happy we can help you with that because you do, like I say, I keep saying it. I'm not saying it just to say it. There's so much you all. If you could just see behind, just a glimpse of what Holly does for her patrons, just her patrons, you guys would just die. It's
Thank
just
you.
amazing everything she has to give. So we talked about your family life. We talked about your crafting life. Tell us about, and you said, okay, you would move to Utah. Honestly, I think that's the only place I would move to, only because of Cricut. I used to say when I grow up, I want to be, and this is like 5 years ago when I was, I can't tell you guys how old I am because y'all won't believe me, but I want to be an Apple genius. I want to work at the Apple store because I love
Yeah.
my Apple products so much. But
Oh,
once I
same.
get through with this, I'm like, no, Caesar, let's go. Let's go to Utah. I wanna work for Cricut. You know, like you
Yeah.
can't apply and work for Cricut, but tell me about how you got. Tell us all. Tell us about your journey as a Cricut expert, product expert.
Yep. So there are 8 in the nation and 1 in Canada. Um, and I don't want to, I want to navigate through this easily because I don't want to
Okay.
sound like I don't want to boast, but so I created the group and I shared a lot in the group. This was before the patrons. Now I really focus on the patrons that we call angels because you guys
Mhm.
do so much for each other too. But I put my heart and soul into the group like I do now into the angels. And so the Cricut CEO reached out, and that's really the only way to become a product expert is that
Mhm.
the CEO has to, I guess, he's in control of the program. And
Mhm.
so to be a product expert. You know, you do the mystery box launches and stuff like that, but we get to see all the things behind the scenes, what they're working on, what's coming up, new product launches, when they'll be. And so it's really neat to work for a team that cares so much. And I know you guys, if you've ever watched Ashish and his videos, he's so compassionate and caring about his Cricut community. So it's really neat to be a part of that. And so I'm super, super thankful.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. I mean, to think of it, guys. Only 8. 1 out of 8. 1 person out of just 8 for this whole. That's amazing. That's amazing.
No, it's wild. I don't know how it happened.
But you know what I think? What makes it even more. I'm sorry, guys. Even more amazing for us is that you don't act like a celebrity. You don't, like you said, you didn't want to even just tell us that there's only 8. You know, you don't want to boast. And I think that's important. You share what you have. I'm gonna share this with everybody. Go back. I'm sorry, guys. Go back. When I met Holli, this is like, I told you guys.
There's a kid in there.
When I met Holli, we went to dinner with a group in San Antonio for one of the product lunches there, and it was the infusible ink. And we had gone to San Antonio, and we're having dinner, and this is what stuck with me, and this is why I reached out to Holli, and I wasn't afraid. She's so approachable. She's available. She said, I would totally support any one of you guys if you wanted to do even what I'm doing. Say you wanted to go out and do a Facebook group, or you wanted to go and do your own crafting channel, I would totally support you. And I looked at her and I go, are you serious? And she said, oh yeah. And she's meant it. She's meant it, and she's followed through with that. So just wanted to let everybody know how true and how genuine you really are.
Thank you. That makes me want to cry.
Okay, so let's wrap this up with a few. I'm gonna get to anybody's questions in just a little while, but I have a few things. Okay, so personal things. Coke or Dr. Pepper?
That Dr. Pepper.
This is for you. Look at
oh, that's me. I love it. I'm obsessed. It's such a bad obsession. I was laying in the bed last night, and I told Matt, I was like, I've really got to lay off of these. My stomach is going to just I drink so many of them. I love them.
It's funny because this is the only reason I have this in my house is because this is Caesar's favorite. Diet Dr. Pepper all over the place. So okay, yeah. So leggings, jeans, or sweats?
Leggings.
Definitely to have right. Let's think. What favorite pie?
Oh, favorite pie. Blueberry.
Really? And I can't do the blueberry. That sounds good though.
I love it.
And your favorite meal? What's your favorite, like your most favorite meal ever?
Okay, so I really like, this is really weird, but we got this in a HelloFresh. I don't know if you guys get HelloFresh or you've heard of HelloFresh, but we started doing it this year because we've been so busy, and it has like saved us. It's our little reward each week to get these. We get 3 meals a week, and they had this spinach ravioli with cheese. And so I know it sounds weird, and I don't know if anybody else has ever heard of that. It may be a really popular thing, and I don't know. But spinach ravioli and cheese. It was so good.
That sounds good. I would totally eat that.
It was really good.
And your kids, what's your girl's favorite meal?
Lunchables.
Really? My kids like Lunchables. My son could eat just pizza every day if I let him. Pizza and hot dogs. I'm like, well, yeah, let's go. I can do pizza and hot dogs.
Made.
All right, guys. Does anybody have any? Thank you so much, Holli, for coming on. I told you I wasn't going to take a lot of your time. Does anybody have any questions for Holli? Yeah. We have some really, really cute, a lot of people are saying thank you. They think you're the best.
Thank you.
Yeah. Angels. They said, I'm an angel and I love it.
Yay.
Oh, yay. All right. So there's no more. If you have any questions, you think of anything else, guys, drop them in the comments. Holly will have access. She's in the group as well, so she'll have access to go through and look at the comments as well. Thank you again for coming with us. And ladies, thank you so much for being here with us. And got more coming for you guys later. Take care.
Yay, thank you, Naomi.
You're very welcome.